So if there's one thing about Twitch that really just annoys me, and I'm trying to think about if this is really the prime thing, because there are so many things that annoy me about Twitch. Twitch is one of those platforms that if you look at it and you're any sort of content creator, you're going to get annoyed very quickly at a multitude of different things. But this one that really annoys me is the fact that Twitch just can never stick with the decisions that they so obviously want to make, right? Twitch obviously wants to allow nudity on their platform. To say anything else is just ridiculous. Like, we know that they desperately want this. They want to be able to allow nudity because then they can basically let their cam girls roam free. Their money makers will make them a ton of money and everybody will be happy. But the problem is Twitch is owned by Amazon, and Amazon obviously loves their image, and Twitch also likes to double back on what they say all the time. I mean, how many times have we seen Twitch put something out there, right? They'll put out some sort of change and then all of a sudden they just revert back quickly. Like, oh, but we're sorry, guys. We got too much backlash. We overstepped. But here's another change that we have in mind. You know what I mean? Like, what they do is they go extreme with one change and then they replace it with a subtle change, the one they really wanted to put in. That way, when you start off with an extreme change, it makes people less likely to fight you when you put in the more subtle change, and that way you can implement changes slowly over time versus actually just doing it all in one shot and causing an uproar. Well, apparently Twitch just recently reversed their policy allowing artistic nudity, citing AI's ability to create realistic images. This one's coming to us from Variety, guys, so let's get into this article. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button, man. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. So it says 2 days after Twitch updated its sexual content policy to allow depictions of fictionalized nudity if properly labeled, the Amazon-owned live streaming platform has done an about face. Shocker. When has Twitch never done an about face? Again, I want you guys to look back on the changes Twitch has made over the last few years and look to realize that they actually released more hardcore changes first, and then they would double back and say, okay, we're going to reverse that, but here's a change that we want to put instead that we think you guys will be okay with. And that's how they get their way. It says, upon reflection, we have decided that we went too far with this change. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy wrote in a blog post Friday, digital depictions of nudity present a unique challenge. AI can be used to create realistic images, and it can be hard to distinguish between digital art and photography. Effective Friday, Twitch is rolling back the policy about artistic nudity changes. According to Clancy, moving forward, depictions of real or fictional nudity won't be allowed on Twitch, regardless of the medium, Clancy wrote. So basically, you guys got a whole bunch of free boobs for like, what, a day? Like, it wasn't even, I released my video yesterday about this, so it hasn't even been like 24 hours before they completely changed their announcement, which is crazy. Like, why even bother? I don't know. I know why bother, because again, the slow and steady wins the race, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to win the race of the changes they want to implement slowly but surely, and they decided that this was just too much, and they're going to put in something else that I guarantee you is going to be close, but not quite as much. It says Clancy also wrote that some streamers, in response to the update, created content that was in violation of our new policy. We've worked quickly to remove that content and issue channel enforcements. Twitch on December 13th had said that it was changing its rules to allow artistic depictions, meaning that they are drawn, animated, or sculpted of fully exposed female presenting. I still laugh at the female presenting things. Breasts and or genitals, buttocks, regardless of gender, if creators label the content as containing sexual themes. There is a thriving artist community on Twitch, and this policy was overly punitive and did not reflect the impact of the content, the company said in a blog post Wednesday. I'll just put it out there, man. If they don't have something that are going to, here's the best part. Hold on. Other changes in Twitch's sexual content policy are still going to be in effect. While Twitch does not permit streamers to be fully or partially nude, it is now allowing content that deliberately highlights breasts, buttocks, or pelvic region, as well as body writing and body painting on female presenting breasts and or buttocks regardless of gender with a sexual themes label. In addition, dances such as twerking, grinding, and pole dancing are now allowed with no label, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they are allowed to twerk on Twitch or do a pole dance or grinding or whatever the case may be. They're allowed to do that on Twitch with no label. That means that, yes, there are people who are underage that can find this content easily, readily, and available on Twitch. They don't have to have a label. They don't have to put it under sexual themes or whatever the case may be. They can let it run free reign. So this is what I mean, right? So they took out the hardcore thing and they left the other subtle changes that people may not necessarily be okay with, but they're more than willing to just accept because the artistic nudity has now been stopped. What's going to happen now, the artistic nudity is going to come back at some form in the future, but they're going to overshadow it with something more extreme, and then they're going to allow the artistic nudity because it was considered the subtle change at the time. This is what they do every single time. It says there's no change to Twitch's policy concerning games featuring nudity, pornography, sex, or sexual violence as a core focus or feature. Those remain entirely prohibited. For games in which nudity is not the core focus or feature, the mature rated games content classification label is sufficient for incidental nudity. Now, again, it's very clear why they did this, ladies and gentlemen. They want to make it a point where they don't have to ban their money makers. Twitch wants these people. You realize that? Like, Twitch wants these girls who are going to be getting simps for them to come flooding into their chat rooms and donating as much money as humanly possible, donating a whole bunch of subscriptions, whatever the case may be. That's what Twitch wants. The problem is that Twitch is trying to navigate being able to call themselves a video game platform while also allowing all of this stuff, because it becomes a certain point where you cannot call a duck, you know, a dog. It's basically like, you obviously want to be a softcore website. You want to be that, right? You want to be some sort of softcore cam website. So just allow yourself to do that. But they don't want to do that, because if they do that, what that does is then they have to age restrict it. If they become a flat out softcore website, then it has to be age restricted and locked accounts based off of 18 years old plus, etc., etc. They don't want to do that. They want the young kids to be able to find this stuff, because then it allows them to be able to make more money. It also allows their money makers to make more money. It all flows down the same stream at the end of the day. So they know that they have to keep it at a point where it's basically like just as close as humanly possible to the maximum without actually getting to the maximum, right? So that's why these women do the topless meta, because it's basically damn near close to being fully nude, but at the same point you can argue that you're not. They'll do every single, you know, sexual gesture, dance, whatever the case may be. They'll do anything they got to do to keep their sims happy, as long as the money keeps rolling in, but they won't be able to do that if all those sims disappear the moment it became an actual real softcore website that had an age gate behind it. So this is the problem going on at Twitch right now. It's very clear that Twitch wants to be a certain kind of website. They just don't have the balls to actually go through and do it, because they don't want to lose that money. And Amazon, I am sure, is probably behind Twitch, telling them like, yo, you have to stop this nonsense. You cannot go full on, because if you go full on, that's going to hinder not only our image, but it's also going to hinder our money. So Twitch is obviously not going to do that anytime soon, but they're going to try to make small changes that are accepted eventually over time, like they just did. They're going to make those changes eventually become something so extreme that they're going to allow nudity on the platform. It's only a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. I was actually happy that Twitch admitted it with the recent changes. I was like, all right, cool. At least at this point, Twitch is not lying about it anymore. Are they assholes? Sure. Are they a fake gaming website? Absolutely. But they're not lying about it anymore. They're not lying and saying that they're against this stuff when secretly they're supporting every single female thought on that platform. Because let's be real, they ain't no fucking cocks running around, you know, basically barely showing like the women are doing, and doing little like gesture dances and whatnot. Like, men aren't doing that, okay? The men that are there are grinding it out, trying to do something with their platform. But the women who are there are doing the easy way out, which is fine. I get it. If you have it, use it. I'll never hate you for using it. But Twitch is there trying to say, oh, we're against this stuff, and they only ban the females if they absolutely have to. And I mean absolutely have to. So that's the big difference. So I would wish that Twitch would just stick to it, keep admitting it, let the policy stay, and see what happens to their website. But no, they double backed and they said, no, we need to make the changes smaller, slowly but surely. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.